Hello, friends. Welcome to Trivia Over Tea, the quiz show podcast where we drink tea and play trivia. I'm your host, Matthew Cook, and I'm here virtually once again with our scorekeeper, Carter Zanke. Carter, how are you this morning?
Just happy to be here and ready to keep score, Matthew.
Perfect. I hope that we will avoid some of the question issues that we had in our previous episode. I always record, for those who are listening or watching out there, I always record the audience question, which goes in the audio version after the fact. And so hopefully I will address some of the issues that came up in some of the questions during that before round two. So stay tuned for that. But at any rate, we'll try to do better today. So let's meet this week's contestants. First, we have another Matthew.
Hi there, I'm Matthew Ludlam. Most people just call me Matt, so if that's not going to be confusing enough, let's just go with that. For today, I will be drinking a lovely vanilla peach black tea. It is full-bodied. I'm getting some floral scents along with just the aroma of rich, full earth. So we're just gonna enjoy it.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Matt, for being here this morning. We also have Aary.
Hey guys, I'm Aary. I'm drinking Texas sweet tea because let's go Texas. And I'm primarily here for comic relief, as far as I understand it.
Well, in fact, that is why I brought you on the show, was for comic relief. So good job knowing your place. At any rate, we'll have four rounds of questions today, each with a slightly different format. And so without further ado, Carter will explain the rules for round one.
Yes, round one is our first general knowledge round, where you'll each get 5 multiple choice questions. Questions here worth 10 points each.
All righty, Matt, you're up first. Are you ready?
Absolutely not, but let's go.
Okay. Question 1. Aly Raisman took home silver in the all-around event of what sport at the 2016 Olympics? A, track, B, gymnastics, or C, swimming?
Could you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. Aly Raisman took home silver in the all-around event of what sport in the 2016 Olympics?
I do not believe it was swimming. If I remember right, I thought it was track and field. I'm gonna say A.
It was actually gymnastics. I guess the closest thing to an all-around event in track and field would be like the pentathlon.
Right, that's what I was thinking, because I was like, I don't remember her being compared to Simone Biles or anyone else. Like, I don't remember Simone Biles being compared against her or anything else. So I was like, I think it must be A.
Well, in fact, it was gymnastics. In fact, the person who took home the gold was her teammate, Simone Biles. So there you go. Question 2. Bleach, the common household item, is it A, basic, B, acidic, or C, neutral?
That would be basic.
That's correct. The pH of bleach is between 11 and 13.
Chemistry did teach me one thing.
Question 3. Which Andrew Lloyd Webber musical features songs such as Memory? A, Evita, B, Cats, or C, The Phantom of the Opera?
Memory. Wow, I feel like an idiot here because I really thought that was Cats, but now that yeah.
Well, Cats is one of the options.
I know. I'm just saying. It's just when you put it between two other options, it feels so less realistic. I'm going to guess Cats still.
Well, that's correct.
Okay.
Don't overthink it. The original production earned the Olivier Award on the West End for Best New Musical in 1981, and the Broadway production in 1983 won the Tony Award for Best Musical.
Yeah. And fun fact, the movie was terrible.
Yes, I fortunately have not seen it, and I have no intention of seeing it, in fact. Question 4. Which NFL team has the most all-time regular season wins? A, the Dallas Cowboys, B, the Chicago Bears, or C, the Green Bay Packers?
I feel like this can't be the Bears, but it's got to be between the Cowboys and the Packers. And I think the Packers have had a better long-term history. So, sorry, Ari, I appreciate you're from Texas, but I'm gonna have to talk smack about the Cowboys for a minute and say that I think it has to be the Packers simply because they've always been very consistent mediocre for the last few years, but pretty consistent overall. I'm gonna say the Packers.
Believe it or not, it was actually the Bears.
What?
Yeah, and
The
I
Bears
think,
didn't suck?
well, I think they won Super Bowls in the 80s. I mean, well before our time.
Okay.
But if you think about it, the Bears and the Packers were two of the like original teams in the NFL in
Yeah.
1928, maybe earlier than that, 1921. I don't remember
Yeah.
the exact year. But they're apparently pretty neck and neck. The Chicago Bears have 783 regular season wins. The Packers are at 782. So very, very, very close. The Cowboys just haven't been around as long.
Right.
And so they're at 538, apparently. So there you go. Question 5. Of the 45 men who have served as president of the United States, how many have no living descendants? A, 31, B, 16, or C, 9?
I'm pretty sure this is not A, because I can imagine as family trees branch out. I know this sounds a little obvious, but as family trees branch out, it's pretty hard to lose the lineage at some point. Though what was B again?
B was 16.
It's gonna sound weird. I feel like 16 is the most reasonable option because 31 feels too high, but 9 feels too low considering that there were some presidents who didn't have children. So I am gonna stick with B on 16.
It was actually C, 9.
It's actually 9. Okay.
Yeah. George Washington, James Madison, Andrew Jackson, James K. Polk, and James Buchanan never had any children. All of Franklin Pierce's and William McKinley's children died young, so that's 7.
Yeah.
And then Abraham Lincoln's great-grandson was his last living descendant, and he died in 1985. And then Chester Arthur's last grandson died in 1971, and so that is 9. And then fun fact, while Warren G. Harding had no children with his wife, he fathered a child out of wedlock whose descendants are still alive. So
I'm surprised it was just one.
We just keep underrating James Buchanan. Like top 5 president right there.
Well, I think that depends on what your metric is. We won't rank him in the top 5 on this podcast. At any rate, Aary, are you ready?
No, but let's go anyway.
Okay. Question 1. What is the deepest lake in the United States? A, Lake Superior, B, the Great Bear Lake, or C, Crater Lake?
I mean, just going off the names, Crater Lake sounds right, but I'm going to guess and say it's Lake Superior because I know that's the largest and there might be some correlation there.
It was actually Crater Lake. Located in Oregon, Crater Lake is the deepest in the country with a maximum depth of 1,943 feet. The Great Bear Lake is actually in Canada, as my question writer points out. Lake Superior is, though, very deep. I know it's the deepest of the Great Lakes. Question 2.
Significantly deeper than what I'm usually swimming at. So
that's true. No, you're not usually swimming at 1,943 feet.
Usually I'm around a 6-foot guy. So
it's your local swimming pool. Yeah. Question 2. Which of the following is not true of the Houston Astrodome? A, it was the first stadium to have an animated scoreboard. B, it was the first stadium to sell alcoholic beverages. Or C, it was the first stadium to use artificial turf on its field. Which of these is not true?
I'm going to go ahead and say the animated scoreboard isn't true. Just entirely guessing that one, though.
No, it was the first stadium to have an animated scoreboard. The one that wasn't correct was that it was the first stadium to sell alcoholic beverages. The Astrodome, besides being the first domed stadium in the U.S. and the first to have an animated scoreboard, also pioneered the use of turf. And this is where the term AstroTurf comes from. Question 3. In 2010, the Conservative Party won the UK general election that saw David Cameron succeed whom as Prime Minister? A, Gordon Brown, B, Tony Blair, or C, John Major?
I'm pretty sure this is Gordon Brown.
That's correct. The election ended 13 consecutive years of Labour Party control of the government, with Blair, who served was prime minister from 1997 to 2007, and Gordon Brown, who was 2007 to 2010. Question 4. Which of the following is the largest source of electricity in the United States? A, coal, B, nuclear power, or C, natural gas?
Natural gas, I must be doing something extremely wrong or extremely right.
It is natural gas, yes. As of 2020, around 40% of the US's electricity comes from natural gas. And finally, question 5. The pataka is the official currency of what city that was transferred from Portugal to China in 1999? A, Macau, B, Hong Kong, or C, Goa?
I'm pretty sure this is Macau.
That is correct, yes. Alrighty, that's the end of round 1. So Carter, can you please give us a score update?
We have Matt at 20 and Aary at 30.
Alrighty, now it is time for round 2. So Carter, can you please tell us the rules?
Yes, in round 2, you will get 5 open-ended questions on the same topic, and questions here are worth 20 points each. If you get one wrong, your opponent can answer for 10 points.
Alrighty, this round 2 is inspired by an article that I read in the New York Times last week. On April 26th, that was the 200th birthday of Frederick Olmsted, who was a big-time landscape architect in the 19th century and was responsible for laying out a lot of very famous parks and universities and such across the United States. So I'm going to give you each 5 questions about the life and works of Frederick Olmsted. So,
Oh,
Matt.
that Frederick Law.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
We all know
Yeah.
about him.
So, are you ready, Matt?
No, at all.
Okay. Question 1. Olmsted's first project with his partner Calvert Vaux was what large park in Manhattan?
Is that going to be Central Park?
That is correct. It encompasses 843 acres in the Upper West and Upper East sides of Manhattan. Question 2. Opened in 1885, Olmsted designed what New York park, recognized as the oldest state park in the country, which overlooks one of the state's most famous geographic features?
Okay, so 85, one of the state's most notable. So I would assume this is referring. I don't want us to say too much and help Aary out if he's going to steal this. Because I think the problem is I know the location, I just can't remember the name of the park. So I'm going to just in advance, just because I don't want to just give this one to Aary. I'm just going to say Apple Park. I know there's no such place. I don't want to give Aary the name and or any more information and try to springboard for him.
Okay, I think you've overthought it a little bit. But Aary, do you know?
I was gonna guess Niagara Falls State Park.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 3 waterfalls make up Niagara Falls. American Falls, Bridalveil Falls. American Falls and Bridalveil Falls are located entirely within the state of New York. And Horseshoe Falls, the largest of the 3, is 90% within the Canadian province of Ontario and 10% in New York. Question 3. In 1886, Olmsted was hired to design the physical campus for what university located in Palo Alto, California?
Palo Alto 86. I'm just having a mind blank. With this, isn't. I don't know.
I mean, it is
location.
Northern California, so like, who cares about what goes on up there?
it's all fake news anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just. Okay, so this was 86. So I don't think that could have been Berkeley. I'm thinking it's obviously not San Francisco. I'm gonna guess Berkeley.
Not Berkeley. Aary?
Is it Stanford?
It's Stanford, yeah. His design is known for its expansiveness. The original inner and outer quad buildings at Stanford comprise 17 acres of land. Question 4. Olmsted served as the landscape architect for what estate located in Asheville, North Carolina?
What estate? Asheville, North Carolina. I have no idea on this one. I'm just drawing a blank.
Aary, do you know?
No, but I can guess with a lot of confidence and absolutely no chance of getting it right. I'm going to guess
Please
the
do.
Greensboro estate because I know that's a city in North Carolina.
That is a city in North Carolina. That's not the correct answer. This is the Biltmore estate. It was built for George Washington Vanderbilt II between 1889 and 1895, and it remains the largest privately owned house in the United States. And finally, question 5. In 1876, Olmsted designed a park for Mount Royal, a prominent geographic feature of what Canadian city?
Mount Royal, would that be almost sure that's not Toronto. So I'm going to guess Montreal, but I'm not confident. It is?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
It is Montreal. Unfortunately, Montreal experienced a depression in the mid-1870s, and much of Olmsted's plan for the park was abandoned. However, it is still one of his best-known parks. Alrighty, Aary, are you ready for your 5 questions about the life and works of Frederick Law Olmsted?
Oh yeah, my boy Freddie and I go way back.
Perfect. Question 1. Among Olmsted's other parks was Prospect Park. In what other New York City borough?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Brooklyn.
That's correct.
Oh wow!
It is the
Great.
second. Yeah, it is the second largest park in Brooklyn, behind Marine Park.
Fair enough.
Question 2. Olmsted Point is a viewing area located in what California National Park?
Wow, it'd be really good to remember some California national parks other than Joshua Tree right now. Considering I can't do that, I'm going to go ahead and say Joshua Tree.
It's not Joshua Tree. Matt?
That wouldn't be Yellowstone, would it?
Not
No,
Yellowstone.
Wrong.
Yosemite, my dude. Yosemite National Park. It overlooks the north side of Half Dome and Clouds Rest. Yeah. Question 3. Olmsted's home and office was Fairfield, located in the town of Brookline, a suburb of what northeastern city?
Considering he was involved in New York landscaping, I'm guessing that's an easy answer to throw me off, but I'm going to go with that anyway.
You're going to say New York?
Yeah.
It was actually Boston. Oh, shoot. Well, Matt,
I was going to guess Boston, but it's fine.
No. We'll give you the points. We'll give you the points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad. Gosh, I haven't done that in a while. It was in fact Boston. It is now designated the Frederick Law Olmsted National Historic Site there in Brookline, Massachusetts. Question 4. In 1865, Olmsted had been asked to draw up a plan for the campus of what other university located just 30 miles from Stanford?
Oh, wow. Another university in Northern California. I'm assuming this one's going to be Berkeley, but
yes,
okay.
Berkeley. His plan wasn't fully implemented by the university, but some of it does remain intact today. And finally, question 5. In Washington, D.C., Olmsted designed the grounds around what building located at the eastern end of the National Mall?
Is that just the Lincoln Memorial?
Not the Lincoln Memorial. Matt?
The grounds for a building at the end of the National Mall.
Yeah, the eastern end.
The eastern. Okay, I was gonna say western end. I feel like it's a very different building. Eastern end of the National Mall. Sorry, just give me 1 second to think about that. It's not natural. So it has to be past. Has to be past aerospace. I can't visualize that last building. I know it's not Capitol Hill. because that's the other side. I'm just going to say Capitol Hill though, because I cannot think of I just can't visualize the other side.
I asked for a building.
I
Just say the building.
just Aerospace Museum. My bad.
No, it's the Capitol.
Oh wait, it's just the Capitol.
It's just the Capitol. Yeah. The Capitol is located at the east end of the mall. The Lincoln Memorial is the west end of the mall.
Yeah.
It's the U.S. Capitol building. He also designed the summer house located at the north end of the Capitol grounds that used to function as a place where visitors and their horses could relax and get some water.
We're really thriving today.
Yeah. So it's early. Let's just say that it's early.
It is early. Yeah, that is true. Well, that's the end of round 2. So Carter, can you please give us a score update?
Looks like we have Matt at 80 and Aary at 90.
Alrighty, now it is time for round 3. So Carter, can you please tell us the rules?
Round 3 is a lot like round 2. You'll get 5 questions on different topics this time, and questions are worth 30 points each. If you go in wrong, your opponent can answer for 15 points.
Alrighty. Matt, are you ready for your 5 questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. Question 1. What interstate highway goes over the Sepulveda Pass that connects the San Fernando Valley to LA's west side?
That's not the 90 for sure. The 90 is, I think, a lot more south than that. It's not 605. It's Sepulveda to San Fernando Valley. Is that the 105?
105. Aary, do you know?
I'm gonna just say 210.
No, this is the 405. Yeah. About 330,000 cars traverse the Sepulveda Pass every day.
Yeah.
Question 2. What is the name of the book of the Bible that proselytizes about the end of the world, casting an apocalyptic vision of the 4 horsemen, the rapture, and the second coming of Jesus?
You knew I grew up in an evangelical church. That would be the Book of Revelations.
That's correct. It is the last of the 66 books of the Bible.
It's an interesting read.
Yes. Question 3. Which university has the largest endowment in the United States?
Largest endowment. My gut says Harvard, but
Maybe you should stop overthinking some questions.
I'm just gonna say Harvard.
That's correct. Its endowment is $53 billion.
Okay.
Question 4. In polymer chemistry, what does PEG stand for?
Wow. Polymer chemistry, PEG. So, sorry, it's taking a second. I'm just trying to think. This isn't. I'm just drawing a blank.
Okay. Aary, do you know?
I'm gonna string together 3 chemistry words and guess propyl ethyl glutenate.
No, that's a good guess, I suppose. I don't know anything about this. This is polyethylene glycol.
Okay.
And PEG has been used for many medicinal applications, most notably in the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines for COVID-19.
Fair enough.
And finally, question 5. On May 11th, 1812, Prime Minister Spencer Perceval was assassinated in the lobby of what lower house of the British Parliament?
House of Commons?
That's correct. He was assassinated by John Bellingham, a British merchant who was upset at the government for not compensating him for his imprisonment in Russia during the previous decade. Perceval remains the only British prime minister to be assassinated. Aary, are you ready for your 5 questions?
Yeah, as long as the punishment isn't being imprisoned in Russia.
I think we can make that happen. Question 1. What interstate highway connects Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio?
The I-35?
That's correct. It runs about 504 miles in Texas. Question 2. On May 11th, 1891, what future and last Tsar of Russia survived an assassination attempt while visiting Japan?
Tsar Nicholas III.
Not Nicholas III. Matt?
Wait, the last Tsar of Russia?
Yeah.
The last.
You said Nicholas III, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought the last Tsar of Russia was actually Nicholas II, because
It is
his
Nicholas
son never,
II.
his son was Nicholas III, but he never became Tsar because he died.
His son was Alexei, I
Oh,
think.
that was Alexei.
Yeah. No, it was Nicholas II. Yeah, not Nicholas III. Known as the Otsu incident, Tsarevich Nicholas was attacked by Tsuda Zanso, who swung a saber at him. He swung again, but his attack was parried by Nicholas's cousin, Prince George of Greece and Denmark, thus saving Nicholas's life. He was left with a 9-centimeter scar on his forehead. Question 3. In late 2012, a bug tester leaked a beta version of what popular browser extension to Reddit, where it quickly went viral?
Google Chrome.
Not Chrome. Matt?
Internet Explorer?
No, this is Honey,
Honey.
according to my brother. Yeah, that was an amazing question.
No, it's a good question.
Yeah. Question 4. What chemical causes the burning taste in chilies?
I have absolutely no idea on this, so.
Okay, Matt, you know?
That would be capsaicin.
That's correct, capsaicin. This chemical is technically an irritant, which means that it produces a burning sensation. And finally, question 5. In April 2022, Robert Golob and the Freedom Movement defeated Prime Minister Janez Janša and the SDS in the elections of what small Balkan country?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah. In April 2022, Robert Golob and the Freedom Movement defeated Prime Minister Janez Janša and the SDS in the elections of what small Balkan country?
Croatia?
Not Croatia. Matt?
I want to say Hungary.
No, this was actually Serbia.
It's Serbia, okay.
Yeah. And I hope I pronounced all those names correctly. Unsure about that. So yeah.
Hey, no one's attacking you with a saber, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have to watch out for that. That's the end of round 3. Yes, round 3. So, Carter, can you please give us a score update?
We currently have Matt at 200 and Aary at 120.
Alrighty, now it is time for round 4. So, Carter, can you please tell us the rules?
Round 4 is our showdown, where you'll each get the same 3 questions. Questions here are worth 40 points each, and we'll ask you to make note of your answers as we ask the questions.
Alrighty. Matt, Aary, are we ready?
Yes, I am now.
Just to clarify, to make note, you mean you want us to write them down properly?
That's great, or you can just think them. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Question 1. What Spanish Surrealist painter's best-known work is The Persistence of Memory? Alrighty, Matt, what is your answer?
That would be Picasso.
Aary?
That's also what I got. I don't know if you can see my phone screen at this point.
I cannot, but I'll trust you. But in fact, it is Salvador Dali. It has been in the Museum of Modern Art's collection since 1934. It's remembered for its melting clocks. Question 2. What federal agency owns the most land? Or I should say manages the most land. Okay, Matt, what is your answer?
National Parks.
Aary?
I got Department of the Interior.
This is the Bureau of Land Management. Yeah. I'm trying to, because which I believe is a subsidiary of the, excuse me, of the Department of the Interior.
Yeah.
But I think since we asked for agency, I think that's smaller than Department of Interior, I think.
Just throw it out there. If there's only there, this is the last round, right?
Yeah.
If I would give it to Aary because I think he's way more right than I was, because I was thinking of National Parks Committee, and that way in the final round we can have an actual showdown.
That's true.
I want to win on my grounds.
Yeah, it was a little vague. So yeah, why don't we give you the point? Sorry. Yeah. So, the Bureau of Land Management within the Department of the Interior. I need to check to make sure that's in the Department of the Interior. I'm pretty sure it is. It owns 250 million acres, and second place is the Forest Service at 190 million. National Park Service is at 80 million. Forest Service is actually Department of Agriculture. So let me just check to see where the Bureau of Land Management.
Fair enough. I was going off the logic that the US has a lot of interior, so I might be wrong.
No, that's fair. Okay. Bureau of Land Management is Department of the Interior. Yes. Okay. So we'll give you the points for that. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, National Park Service is fourth at 80 million acres. And they are also interior. Forest Service is agriculture.
Yeah.
And finally, question 3. In 1864, the French overthrew the government of what Latin American country and installed Maximilian as its emperor? Matt, what is your answer?
Mexico.
Aary?
Yeah.
Yep, Mexico.
That is correct. Yes. Well, that's the end of the game. So Carter, can you please tell us the final score?
Our final score is Matt with 240 points and Aary with 200 points.
Well, congratulations, Matt. You have won. Do you have anything that you would like to say?
Yes, I'd like to thank the Academy. It's been a wonderful experience. And if watching me struggle through trying to remember the name of the Capitol building wasn't fun enough, I hope you stick around for more of Matt's podcast, because this is a lot of fun and very entertaining. That being said, thank you so much for having me, Matt. And back to you.
Well, that was beautiful. That's our show for this week, folks. Thank you, Matt and Aary, for being on the show today, as well as Carter Zanke for being our scorekeeper and Mason Cook for composing the music. Today's questions were written by Caitlin Fick, Tanner Tim, Lucas Hauser, Matthew Brown, Mason Cook, and yours truly. And thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to Trivia Over Tea on your preferred podcast platform and leave us a review if you enjoyed it. Check out our Facebook and Instagram pages at Trivia Over Tea, and feel free to message us on any of these platforms if you have any comments or suggestions regarding the show. And tune in next week when we'll have 2 new contestants and 33 more fantastic questions. Thank you. We'll see you